A well-crafted and properly formatted landing page is basically like the best and most well-tuned sales machine you could ever produce. It could quite literally be the difference between you getting 100 clients in a month or 10 clients in a month. And I use these numbers not as a creative filler to make what I'm about to speak about sound more exciting. This is a real-life example from a client that I was working with where we went from using sales calls as the way they were getting new clients to a more direct approach. And the lessons we learned from that process were quite remarkable. Whereas with the right idea in terms of scalability and automation, there were some key factors in the sales call that we were now missing within our landing pages, which in turn basically killed the amount of clients that were coming into that business. So I'm here today to make sure you don't make the same mistakes and build landing pages that bring in just as many clients as your sales calls or discovery calls or whatever the heck they want to call them, which I guess is a key part of this equation. So in the example of this client I'm speaking about, and this might be a similar situation to you, they were using the sales call, the discovery call, as the lead magnet, I suppose, on their ads. The ads directed them to a landing page, which in turn booked them into a call, which explained to them a bit more about what this company does, but also gave them some free advice on the call. These weren't cold calls. This wasn't cold calls going out to people who didn't know anything about this business, weren't interested at all. The customers wanted the sales call. And so going from that approach to totally removing that, and instead directing potential customers to a landing page, I think we underestimated how much work needed to be done. But as I say, the lessons we've learned are so invaluable, and I'm very excited to share them with you. And hopefully this can really supercharge the landing pages that you make for your business as well. And I'm going to use the illustration of the sales call pretty much throughout this whole conversation, because I think using that analogy is actually so helpful for crafting these landing pages. As I said at the start, you want your landing pages to be your best sales rep. You want it to be this, so when someone lands on your landing page, all of their questions are answered, they are sold to, and the thing you are selling is made so convincing by your landing page that actually you don't need sales reps. You don't need people picking up the phone to answer questions. Your landing page is so compelling and so awe-inspiring that people just want to buy what you've got right then and there. Now, my tech setup isn't super fantastic yet. So ideally, I'd kind of have my face at the bottom and show you a diagram on my computer. But instead, I'm going to draw out what a fantastic landing page looks like. And for this example, I'm going to illustrate a mobile landing page because I guarantee for 95% of you here, 95% of your traffic will be on mobile, which I guess is a very key point to focus on at the start of this conversation. Most landing page builders, Squarespace, Wix, Elementor, ClickFunnels, Go High Level, whatever you're using, when you're making your website, it will default to a desktop website. Make sure your mobile landing page works well. In fact, I would even say prioritize that over your desktop landing pages, because why would you put so much effort into something that actually most of your traffic aren't going to be looking at anyway? Okay, so right here, this is your landing page, or at least this is the very first thing that your audience should be looking at when they click on your landing page. A subtitle heading, and then a brief video underneath that as well. Now, one of the key mistakes that I have seen a lot of people make, and one of the key factors that I see a lot of the very successful people not doing, this is as simple as your landing page should be. Subtitle, video, if you've got a Trustpilot, what did you say? Or some kind of review tool, you can put it underneath there as well. But make this as simple, as plain as possible. You don't want 100 different things that people can click on at the top. You don't want 50 different pop-ups coming up. Subscribe to my newsletter, get 10% off. Share this to your friend and get £5,000. When people come to your landing page, there should be one very clear objective for why they're on that website. That is to buy your stuff. My mum might be watching this video, so. And nowadays, as human beings, we're stupid. We all are. We've all been conditioned to lose focus and lose attention on whatever it is we're doing within milliseconds. As soon as something is slightly unappealing, we're gone. We're on to the next thing. We've closed the website. In fact, again, in this client's example, one of the main reasons we realized that their current landing pages weren't working as well as when we had the sales call was the sample data that we looked at. There was about 8, maybe 10,000 people visiting the website a month. The average view time for people on their website was 2 seconds. 2 seconds, people are on this website, and then we're clicking off. Beforehand, when we were doing the sales call, we didn't really need a good landing page because we were selling people the sales call, basically. So we didn't really need to do much convincing with any of the website. But now we needed to make our stuff look good, and it didn't look good. So very clear title, Tell them exactly what it is that you have and what it is that you do. So if you were a dog trainer, it could be something like misbehaved to man's best friend in 12 weeks or less. Your title should basically be explaining the solution to the problem that your audience has and making it seem as attainable as possible. And your subheading should basically reinforce that. I think maybe one of the best exercises to figure out what to do here, if you've never seen Alex Hormozi's value equation, I'm sure my technological skills can push me far enough as to put that on the screen now. This thing is absolute gold. How can you make what you have seem as valuable to someone as possible? If you can do that in just a heading and a subheading, in fact, I would argue that you should be able to do that in your heading and your subheading on your website and convince people to stick around for more than 2 seconds. Then this video right here, this is so important. So this is an opportunity to connect with the people visiting your website. Again, in the same way as a sales call would allow you to bring a bit of personality to the conversation, to the table, show people who you are. This should be that. And this should be like relatively simple. Even something like this, just sitting down in front of a camera, not overly edited, no ridiculous transitions and explosions and sound effects. It should basically be like a sales call, like you're just sitting down with them and you're introducing what it is that you do, you know, your elevator pitch, I suppose. But keep it simple, relate to your audience with a hook, touch on their pain points, and, you know, just confirm for them that they're in the right place. This is something that they need to be looking into, something that they will be interested in. Give a little bit of a backstory of who you are, but don't talk about yourself too much, because the fact of the matter is people don't really care that much about you. If they've clicked on your website, on your landing page, it's because they want something for themselves, not because they think you're really great and they love the sound of your voice as much as you do. Obviously, you do want to validate that you know what you're talking about though, so talk a little bit about your experience. Definitely talk a bit about results that you've had in the past, a bit of that maybe, chuck some testimonials in there, and then sell your thing. Talk to them about what it is that you have, why it's the best solution for them, why it's better than maybe other solutions that they may have seen before seeing you. And something you can include in this video as well, which is something definitely to include further on in your landing page as well, which I'll get to in a moment, is risk reversal. So maybe you do a free 14-day trial, maybe you do a 30-day money back guarantee, or maybe you go full Charlie Morgan send and say, if you don't get the results, I'll give you your money back and I'll wire you $5,000. That's definitely something to consider talking about in this video. Now, when it comes to recording this video, I would say don't script it start to finish. Definitely script a little bit of the intro and give yourself some bullet points to talk through, but you want it to sound organic. You don't want it to sound like you're just reading off a teleprompter. Again, it's meant to feel like a sales call. It's meant to just feel like a conversation. So make it feel as organic as you possibly can. Now, I think one of the most, if not the most important component of any marketing effort, whether that be through your ads, your content, your landing pages, the emails that you're sending out, is building trust. Yes, you want to show value. Yes, you want to be able to demonstrate experience if you can, risk reversal, as I just spoke about as well. But I think being able to build trust with your audience as quickly as possible is one of the most important things that you should be trying to do in your marketing efforts. So anything like testimonials, reviews, Trustpilot scores, testimonial videos obviously are fantastic. Screenshots of conversations that you've had with previous clients, if that's something you can do. That is something that should be featured a lot in your landing pages. So this part is very important. Other thing to say as well, these things should all be visible as soon as they open up your website on their phone. They shouldn't have to scroll down to see any of these bits here. It should be obvious, oh, there's a video here, oh, there's a title and the subtitle above it. That should be visible. Your title and your subtitle should be so big that your video is pushed down. Have that visible. And then underneath that, I would definitely put your call to action, whatever it is. So whether that is to buy the thing right then and there, start the free trial, send in an application, maybe it's to book in a call. Maybe you are still doing sales calls and actually you don't want to get rid of that right now. Or maybe they're, you know, detrimental to your business model. But there should be a very obvious call to action here. You know, in an ideal scenario, this bit here, that first bit they see on their phone should do everything it needs to do. You've given a title, you've given a video that explains who you are, why they should trust you, what it is you do, what you're selling. And I would actually say in that, talk about how much your thing is. I know some people hide the price because, you know, they want to get them onto the call and sell them later. But I feel like people are getting smarter to this stuff now. People know when they're being sold to, and people know when they're being sold to and it's trying to be hidden. So my opinion is just be upfront. There's no point trying to hide. Like for me, that turns me off a website when I go onto it. I was scrolling through, I want to know how much the thing is. So personally, my opinion, just tell them the price. And I'd actually go one step further than what I was talking about a second ago. And actually, if you can have the call to action included, again, on the first thing they see when they load up your website on their phone, then you're laughing. Does it need a screw? Does it need a, does it need a screwdriver? Does it need a screwdriver? Come on, Leeds. You absolute sausage roll. Well, my wife is mowing the lawn. Don't know if that should make me feel demasculated or if I should celebrate her empowerment as a woman. The show must go on. Then after this point, there's a few key components that come into a landing page, I believe. Again, if we're thinking about this replacing a sales call and being your best sales rep, what are some of the things that you do on a sales call? You build trust, you handle objectives, you reverse risk, and then there's a term which I cannot remember for the life of me, but it's basically about helping the potential customer put themselves in the shoes of a successful outcome, to help them to understand what it would look like to get the thing that they want and kind of use that to reinforce, okay, you can get there with my thing. So we're building trust. Then the next important part I'd say to take care of is handling objections, or I guess more broadly handling questions. So underneath this here, I'd put some bullet points, maybe some little images to go along with it, just describing your service a bit, your product a bit, what it is that you do. And don't put here the thing, put the result that you're going to get for people. So if you're selling a protein drink, don't put, I don't know, don't put research-backed whey protein concentrate formulated by the industry's top scientists. Like that kind of sounds good, but what does that actually get for me? I think you'd be better using language like a muscle building formula to ensure you reach your goals, to help build muscle better. You know, okay, this is what's in the thing, but actually, what is that going to get me? I don't know if that's a helpful example, but you basically want to sell people the destination, what it is they're going to get, as opposed to the thing. Then I'm back to building trust again here. Underneath those bullet points, I'd put again some more reviews, testimonials, messages you've received from previous clients or customers talking about how good your thing is and why it's the best thing in the world. And then under that, I'd put the same call to action button again. I think scattering a call to action button across your page a few times is quite helpful, because it might be at certain points of scrolling through that, people think, okay, I get it now, I'm ready to buy it. And again, we're lazy, so to be able to help people as much as we possibly can so they don't have to scroll back to the top of the website, people will appreciate that. It makes a nice user experience. Now, if you don't have many reviews to put in this spot here, maybe you don't have any reviews, use industry data about what it is you're selling. You'll know your industry better than I do, but find some key facts about people who use your type of product, your type of service, reach desired outcome in this much less time, save this much money, throw some percentages and some pounds in there and stuff, make it sound cool. Then the next part, which I think is a cool thing to include and actually works really well as an ad creative, just as a little side note, doing like a comparison stack. Why is your product, your service better than other products or services that people would have seen before, again, in the same industry? So if yours is cheaper, again, thinking about that value equation, does your product take away some of the pain? Does your product make the goal seem more achievable? Does your product make it seem like it's going to take less time and less effort than any competitors? Put some of that stuff in there. Then you could possibly even throw some more reviews in under that, again, if you got them. I know there are some people who literally will just litter their landing pages with, that's basically all it is, reviews and reviews and reviews and reviews. Again, just building trust, showing people this thing works, people are using this, and it's good. And then, of course, once again, call to action at the bottom. I'm actually going to go back on myself here. I would say underneath this bit, a little comparison stack, I would put your guarantee, your risk reversal here. That's supposed to be like a money back guarantee badge, but I'd put that underneath this little comparison stack showing why you're better than everyone else. Put under there your 30-day back money guarantee, your 14-day free trial, whatever it is that you're doing to reverse the risk. Take as much risk off of the customer as possible. put that there. Call to action button. And then if you've got more reviews and you want to chuck some more stuff in there, put it at the bottom, finish it with another call to action at the bottom. And there you go. The best landing page known to mankind. Now, a few more bonus points, just things to do and things to avoid. Please make sure your colors complement each other. You don't want people landing on your website and thinking, blow me, this is too much. And again, just clicking right off. It wants to be pleasing to the eyes. There's bunch of studies and psychology behind colors that promote certain effects, or reactions rather, I should say, emotions. So red creates urgency, I think. Blue promotes calmness and trust. Look it up, just search color psychology. Make sure you're using good colors, but colors that complement each other well. Don't use too many fonts, like maybe 2 fonts. Again, I said at the start, but don't put too many things on your landing page. I've heard it even said, you know how often at the bottom in the footer of your website you have your social media links and things like that. I've heard some people say even, don't even put those there, because chances are people have just come to your website from your social media, so why are you going to send them back again? Just make it really obvious, particularly if it's like a sales landing page. You are here to buy my thing, and that's it. Maybe a button somewhere for WhatsApp, but I would stick that, right at the end. Make your buttons obvious. Again, the mistake I said in the past is there being buttons, but actually when you go on the website, either the language of the button or the colors and the shape of the button, it's not apparent that it's a button. Make it really obvious. Apply here. Start free trial. Some people even make the text on their buttons really long. Like, yes, I want to achieve X goal. I don't like those so much, but people much more successful than me swear by that. So try it for yourself and split test it. Try a longer button text to a shorter button text and see what works for you. If you haven't built a landing page, what tool would I recommend using? I think there is a website just called like landing pages. I've used Squarespace, although I feel like it's quite restrictive. It's very easy to use, but very restricting. But if you just want a simple landing page, which I guess is what we're talking about, then that's not a bad place to go. I've used Go High Level, Elementor, and WordPress is good. Yeah, I don't know what people think about Go High Level these days. I know it kind of seems like a bit of a Ponzi pyramid scheme thing, but I think the tool is fantastic. For a budget option for somewhere you can build your website, host your conversations and your contact details, send out emails, I think it's great. And then the only other thing I would say is once you built it, if you want, or if you're in the process of building it and you would like some advice or just want to chat anything business, I guess, I'm going to leave a link in the description to a free Discord that I have open at the moment, and I'll make a channel called Landing Pages. Chuck your landing pages in there. I'd be happy to look them over for you and just give any advice, any tips that I've got. And feel free to look at what else is on that Discord group as well. As of the making of this video, there's nothing in there and no one except for me. But if you watch my previous video, you will see me talking about the one thing that I think will help you find success. In fact, the one thing that I guarantee will help you find success in your business endeavors. And there's a challenge that I set in that video, which also directs you to the Discord. So watch that video and get involved with that challenge as well. There might be some more stuff in the Discord by the time you see this video, but I'll put that here anyway. I think it would help you very much.